It's the Jim Fannon Show. We've come to take your mind.
Still on?
Here we go. Quick pop-up. It's 11:35 a.m. on a beautiful rainy Wednesday afternoon. Beat the heat. Come on in. Ow. Oh, hey now with the house band looking hot today. This is Joy Reid. She is a race baiter. Handsome individual. She's on MSNBC. I'm not going to play the whole interview between her and Mark Ruffalo, is it? He is an opponent to the critical race theory. He doesn't like it, and Joy Reid thinks it's awesome. Well, because she is a race baiter. We're going to hit a bunch of clips today, and then I gotta get out. Welcome. Twitch, Fakebook, YouTube broadcasting as Trew.Tube, Trew. What up? D Live. What up? Periscope. Periscope is still broadcasting. They were supposed to be done at the end of March, and they still are rolling. I'm happy about that. They have a new live feature, I think. So look for me on those places. Look for me on TikTok. I'm blowing up on TikTok a little bit. Just hit 1 million views. Nice. Not bad for a couple of weeks' work. We're live from Port Dalhousie. It's a presentation of absolutely no one. I am your scrub in the box. I talk to politicians, media type rock stars, and heathens, usually Thursday night at 7 o'clock or whenever else I feel like it. Find me on Twitter at Team Niagara, on Facebook as Jim Fannon, on Twitch as the Jim Fannon Show, on YouTube as Trew.Tube, and you can find me at Patreon, patreon.com/free speech is me. You can become a Patreon. You'd be my third one. And I'm also at PayPal.me.JimFannon, I think. No. This is Joy Reid. This is a little sample of the interview Joy Reid did with Mark Ruffalo. Check it out.
You say that Ibram Kendi, Dr. Ibram Kendi, who's a college professor, you call him the guru of critical race theory. So we reached out to him. I've interviewed him before, so we reached out to him because you say he's the guru of critical race theory. You name him a lot in a lot of your, both in your manifesto or your talking points memo, but also in your video. We reached out.
Somebody needs to do a count on how long Joy Reid speaks for in this interview as opposed to her guest, quote unquote, that she invited onto the show.
To him, we asked him if he's a critical race theorist. He said, I admire critical race theory, but I don't identify as a critical race theorist. I'm not a legal scholar, so I wasn't trained on critical race theory. I'm a historian. And Chris would know this if he actually read my work or understood that critical race theory is taught in law schools. I didn't attend law school, which is where critical race theory is taught. It's really the only place it's taught. NBC has looked into everywhere, and it's not taught in elementary school. But hold on a second. This is the second thing he said, which It's strange to me that you...
Let me respond. This is not a monologue. This should be a dialogue,
no,
right? Am I right?
It's my show, so it's how I want to do it. So let me...
What a condescending animal. Jeez. We're a full minute in, and I get you got to set up the interview, but let the man speak.
Let me read you one more quote from him, because you've made a lot of claims about critical race theory saying that white Americans are inherently racist, that racism is inherent to whiteness. And that is one of the core charges that you're making about, these sort of what you consider like sort of woke studies in school. This is what Ibram Kendi has said in his own words. He said, "We've been taught that racist is essential to who a person is. It's a fixed category. It's in someone's heart. That's one of the reasons why people are unwilling to or unable to admit the times in which they're being racist, because it's not just admitting I was being racist in that moment. Basically, we're tattooing racist on our forehead for the rest of our lives." Isn't that the opposite of what you're arguing?
Well, I'll say two things. First of all, it's very interesting to me that so many people are now running away from the race of...
All right, so we're a minute 47 in, and Mark is just starting to speak. This is a 9-minute interview. She's taken 2 minutes so far.
The label of critical race theory. But
he's not a critical race theorist.
Hold on.
He truly cannot get a full sentence out without her blabbering.
I'm going to quote two critical race theorists. Barbara Applebaum with the book Being Good, Being White. She says, quote, "All white people are racist." Robin DiAngelo, who's another critical whiteness studies scholar.
Look at this smirk. Oh, man. It bothers me when I look at someone I don't know and hate them this much.
Critical race theorist. Nope. All white identity is inherently racist. So what you're doing is you're playing a series of word games. You know that critical whiteness studies is a subfield of critical race theory?
No, it's not.
These things are all deeply interrelated.
No, they're not.
And I'm not going to let you play word games. And this is really, I think, the most essential thing.
Hold on. No.
Let me respond at least once. I haven't gotten a full sentence out.
Because I'm not going to let you... See, one of the things that... And I don't know, you probably never watched me on TV. Just, we didn't know who each other were.
No one watches you on TV, you weirdo. No one watches you except your radical lefty Antifa types.
Not so long ago. But I don't allow people to just make up and say lies on the show. It's just not really right to do that and let people hear.
You also don't let them talk at all. Floor score, I'll get back to you. I don't know what video you're talking about.
But hold on.
Well,
Robin DiAngelo. Wait.
Am I right
Robin
or wrong?
DiAngelo is not a critical race theorist, and I want everyone to know that. I don't know who the other woman is, but she's not. But let's just go through a minute, because whiteness, and racist. Whiteness and racist. Sure. Where did the term whiteness come from?
Sure, and I think this is an important point, and I hope you let me actually get a full paragraph out about this.
Go for it.
Whiteness is the idea that there is some kind of metaphysical category in the world, that all white people are reducible to this essence of whiteness. Then what happens is that they load all of these negative connotations. They say that whiteness is, by definition, that includes white fragility, includes white privilege, includes internalized white superiority. And then what they do is they try to impose these reductive racial categories onto individuals. And I actually agree with Kendi's approach. I think that we should fight race essentialism. But the problem is that critical race theory enshrines race essentialism.
But you
see it in schools. And I'll give you 3 examples of critical race theory being taught in schools.
Hold on one second.
In Cupertino, California.
These are in your talking points, sir. Chris, these are in your talking points, and I know what you're going to say because you said it with Mark Lamont Hill. You repeat these same things. They're in this manifesto. People can read it out mine. Let me just go for a second. On the subject of whiteness, are you aware, since you say that I guess you're sort of a quasi-historian in your thinking, that whiteness was actually formed in the United States? That whiteness didn't even exist as a thing. Europeans were all European. They considered themselves Italian or Polish or whatever. When the colonists came here...
This is what I don't get. White is not a race. Why are we talking about whiteness? White is not a race. Polish is a race. Italian is a race. Jewish is a race and a religion. Weird. Both, I guess. But this idea that all white people are the same is mostly racist.
they actually created the idea of whiteness. This is from the Smithsonian.
I agree with
as
that.
a way to distinguish themselves from what they call the savages, the natives, and from black people, from Africans, who even if you had a little African in you, you know, if you're Plessy, who's 7/8 white, if you are African in any aspect, that you are reduced of rights. So people that you don't like, that are doing this sort of wokeness training, are saying whiteness has always had power. There used to be a saying, I'm free, white, and 18. It was commonly said in the 50s and 60s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. So whiteness has power. So people who want to decouple whiteness from power, that's what you're annoyed by, right? Let me play a little bit of what you said. You did a speech. Hold on. You did a speech at the Claremont Institute in which you talked a little bit about how you really feel about the academics of it. Here it is. This is cut, I think this is it 3? Yeah, go for it. Play it.
Now, let's see if we can work a little magic with all this noise.
I can't believe that happened.
I'm a white guy fighting critical race theory.
Do you identify as white?
I mean, I'm an Italian American, so you tell me. Lumping people into white, black, Asian, as you suggested, is such a crude and broad categorization.
There's these like very kind of pathetic and very, you know, angry graduate students that you know, try to fight me on these highly technical, you know, Hegel interpretations. And it's like, I don't have time for this. I don't give a about this stuff.
So you don't give an S about this stuff. You're really just having a campaign to take everything that annoys white Americans and white conservatives.
No,
Hold
that's
on.
not right.
You want to make a campaign and stuff everything in there
my
that
highlight
people
reel. You played my highlight reel. Give me a chance to respond.
And you want
that's absolutely
to stuff
wrong.
it all into critical race theory, right?
What I don't think is right is that forcing 8-year-olds in Cupertino, California to deconstruct their racial identities and then rank themselves according to power and privilege. It's intersectionality theory, which was invented by Kimberly Crenshaw.
It's a separate thing.
Which is part of critical race theory.
No, it's not, dear.
You had her on your show. You know this.
Yeah, she invented
here's
both
the bottom
things.
line, Joy.
She invented
what you've
both
done
things.
in tonight's segment is exactly what I'm fighting against. I'm fighting against the manipulation of language. I'm fighting against language.
You're fighting
Are you
against
enjoying this?
wokeness, and you
I'm
don't
trying
like
to
corporate
basically load
wokeness.
I might get cut for this because it's MSNBC and they're ruthless with their copyright, but this is fair use and editorializing. Anyways, it's almost over. It's almost half over, I should say. But Joy Reid continues to bully her guests and not let them speak. Floor score, I don't know, man. I can't remember. Oh, send money. Oh, send money, yes. She ran away to Belarus. Oh, if you're talking about the Dennis Constantini angry hairdressers. Yeah, it's a Dennis Constantini interview, I think, bro. It's up there still. Other than that, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm getting distracted looking at your comments. All right. Enough of you, floor score. This is Christopher. I like how she calls her name Christopher. I think his name's Chris. Come on. My mother uses my full name, but that's what he goes by here. Joy Reid turned the gaslight up to 100 tonight. She claimed that critical race theory isn't taught in schools and that intersectionality, critical whiteness studies, ethnic studies, and critical pediology have nothing to do with CRT. Let's deconstruct her language games, and then you just got to go to check out the thread. It's pretty sweet. The Daily Mail reports. I hope next time you let me complete 2 sentences. I said Mark. It's Chris. Christopher Rufo. I think I said Mark Rufo. I think I'm thinking of that other guy. I don't watch an MSNBC. I find it makes me want to look for a very sturdy shower rod or some rusty razor blades. It's gross. Enough of that. What the piss is this. Madonna? First of all, you're not 20 anymore. You got to be close to 60. So dressing like a toot is probably not the best look for you. I'm not judging. Someone tweeted, oh, this is Anthony Acumia. Silver alert. Missing Madonna Louise Cerconi. 62 years old. Last seen in Times Square without her bathroom and yelling at people through a microphone. If I'm not mistaken, what Kumia is talking about. Super mad hair people with wine. Yeah, it might not be on Twitch, Floor Score, but the interview is on the other platforms. It's called Escape from Canada. I think that's the one you're looking for. Stop it, Floor Score. I'm trying to get... I used to crush over this girl. I think I'm cured. Madonna? You were so much cooler when you were married to Guy Ritchie. My goodness. I'm not sure if this is something you want to watch if you're eating breakfast. It might be put to music.
And, well, he's not been himself at all today.
Oh, no, it's narrated. This is it. Overdub, I guess.
Balls have been all over the place. Keeps looking at the ground in weird ways, and he's taking a little bit of time in between pitches. Rumor has it he went out last night, spotted the strip club. Motorboating titties, ripping lines in the back bathroom. And as a Major League Baseball player, he should be ashamed of himself. Jesus Christ, it gets worse. He vomits on the mound. The Yankees are going to take a break here. And, well, he's not been himself at all today. Balls have been all over the place. Keeps looking at the...
Sorry about that. Also not safe for work. It's kind of disturbing to watch someone basically run over themselves. Okay, now what's he doing? A TikTok video? He's gonna set everything up now. He's got to get the camera angle right, and then watch his foot. It's gonna get caught right. Wow! Now, I'm normally not the one that laughs. My brother and my mother were the one that laughed anytime you stubbed your toe or tripped on something or whatever. But dude, you big dummy. Oh, man. I could watch this on repeat for days because that foot, he's dragging it right here. Oh, thank you for small things. So, I shouldn't be closing these tabs. I got to put them in the YouTube comment section. This will get me shut down. I'm not even sure why I put that in there. New racism won't solve the old racism, and I will put the links in the show description on YouTube. What up, DJ? Turn it up. Basically, this is talking about Lori Lightfoot and her saying that she's not taking interviews from white people. Okay, that's racist. I love how they don't get their own racism. And when I say they, I say most of those wingnut radical lefties that think everyone's racist because of your skin color. Stop it. Critical race theory. I think I skipped too far ahead on this one. They were looking for this guy. Yes. This guy, I guess, has been arrested for shooting a cop in the head. It went in his skull. It didn't kill him. What kind of bullet spares a cop's life after being shot in the cranium. Anyways, looks like they got the guy. Othel Wallace has been captured. Well, okay. Othel. Is that how you say it? Othel? Othal? Whatevs. Enjoy prison for about 5 minutes until your charges are dropped, because your Black Lives Matter. Nobody gets charged with that. Now, this is something special to me because I'm a Dave Rubin fan. I'm also a Larry Elder fan. Now, Dave Rubin was classically red-pilled like many of us. As you mature, you become less liberal, less on the side of, like, the government needs to take care of everything for me, and more on the side of, like, government, leave me the hell alone. Don't censor me, don't regulate me, don't tell me where I can go, don't tell me what I can do. This is a clip of Dave Rubin with Larry Elder, and Dave Rubin gets red-pilled on the spot. I mean, in this clip, all his political leanings were exploded, and he became a moderately conservative right-winger. And this is beautiful. Larry Elder, by the way, is one of the brightest communicators alive today. If you have never heard him, he's got his shit together, he's got his facts, and he can bring it. Let's get a little clip of it.
Well, I would say that because black...
Tell me what you think the most systemic racist issue is. What is it?
Well, I would say that because black people in most cases, in many cases, were descendants of slaves, that racism as an institution, that it just... a certain amount of it just exists.
2015? Give me the most blatant racist example you can come up with right now.
I think you could probably find evidence that, in general, cops are more willing to shoot if the perpetrator is black.
What's your data
than white?
What's your basis for saying that? Last year...
Well, look, I know a lot of people would say, look what's going on in Chicago.
I know what they would say.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what the facts are. 965 people were shot by cops last year and killed. 4% of them were white cops shooting unarmed blacks. In Chicago in 2011, 21 people were shot and killed by cops. In 2015, there were 7. In Chicago, which is a third black, a third white, and a third Hispanic, 70% of the homicides are black on black. About 40 per month, almost 500 per year last year in Chicago, and 75% of them are unsolved. Where is the Black Lives Matter on that? The idea that a racist white cop shooting unarmed black people is a peril to black people is BS. It's complete and total BS. And the reason for these so-called activists saying this is the assumption that racism remains a major problem in America. The media, CNN, especially MSNBC, runs down whenever a black cop shoots somebody, and it's some march on Washington. It's ridiculous. Black people, half the homicides in this country are committed by and against black people. Last year there were 14,000 homicides. Not talking about suicides, I'm talking about homicides. Mm-hmm. Half of them were black, 96% of them black on black of that 7,000. Where's the Black Lives Matter people on that?
So there's where you would say that this is purely because of social justice. This is purely because they want ultimately for people to be angry enough to just keep voting Democrat.
That's right. And where's the evidence of a lack of social justice? When a black suspect is killed by a cop, believe me, the media's on it, people are watching it, and justice will, for the most part, occur.
So you can find these stats. I was not fortunate enough to be around or be a Dave Rubin fan when this went down. And I didn't have an elder, an elder in my life to kind of coach me up on this stuff. I mean an elder. I mean what children are missing today, especially our young men. Yes, cis white male, I'm proud of it. Whatever cis means. Does this mean I'm a man and I like women? Yep, put me in that category. Hetero, I prefer. Hetero? Whatever, Darkblade. Twitch, what up? So I found these stats on the FBI statistics, and in the department of I don't know, crime stats, where are FBI and federal crime statistics. You also can find these stats that prove that most, whatever, I'm canceled, Darkblade, beat it. Mute me. And unfollow. I see you followed me. That's nice. I'm not canceled, bro. I'm right here. I've been canceled. So Larry Elder, one of the brightest communicators on the planet today, gave good old Dave Rubin a red pill instead of the blue pill. Dave Rubin was not expecting it, and Dave Rubin is now what he would classify a classic liberal. Stay out of my life. Basically, stay out of my life. Yeah. And freedom and liberty, not regulation, and repression, and all the kind of stuff that goes along with it. Just a little bit more on Larry Elder.
In Baltimore, where Freddie Gray was killed, Freddie Gray died in a van. I shouldn't say was killed, died in a van.
Yeah.
You have a city that's 45% black. City council is 100% Democrat. The majority of city council is black. The top cop at the time was black. The number 2 cop was black. The majority of the command staff is black. The mayor is black. The AG is black. And yet here we are talking about racism. I mean, it's absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
So it's funny. I find myself caught in between this a little bit as a liberal, where I want to.
Hey, Darkblade, who you calling a cracker? I'm like a well-tanned Mexican hide. Yeah, I'm very brown and getting browner every day. The white people try and get darker. I need my vitamin T. Vitamin D. You need some vitamin T if you're liberal, dude. Vitamin testosterone, that is.
Always try to defend the other. So in this case, the other being black people, I'm always sympathetic to that. And that, at the same time, I hear you laying out a pretty solid case.
Well, these are just the facts. I'll tell you something else, too. There was just a study, University of Washington, and it turns out cops were more reluctant, more hesitant to pull the trigger against a black suspect than a white suspect. Probably because of the fear of being accused of racially profiling and the fear that the civil rights establishment was going to come down on him. So if anything, whites are more likely to be shot by a cop under certain circumstances than a black person. And in the last 30 or 40 years, the percentage of suspects killed by cops who are black has declined 75%. However, the percentage of whites killed by cops has flatlined.
Yeah.
And so if anything, people are more concerned about shooting black people for fear that they're going to be called racist. And almost every one of these incidents, whether it's Eric Gardner in New York, who died because he was selling Lucy's and resisted arrest, whether it's Tamir Rice in Cleveland, who was twirling around the gun, whether it's Michael Brown in Ferguson, who had just committed a strong-arm robbery, almost every one of these incidents involved somebody resisting arrest. Why don't you just do what the police tell you? My dad said, when I get pulled over, have my hand at 10 o'clock, have my hand at 2 o'clock, say yes, sir, say no, sir, make sure my paperwork is in order, and if I feel the cop is mistreating me, get a badge number and deal with it later on. If Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and Obama and the whole group of them told black people to do that, we'd have a lot fewer of these things to deal with in the first place.
Yeah. All right. So I'm with you. I'm hearing a lot of what you're saying here. So as a black conservative then, who now you've laid out your case there.
But you haven't laid out yours. I asked you to name the most important example of racism, and you gave white cops going after black people. And I told you, gave you the facts for that, so that's nonsense. So you must have something else. What else is it? If you think racism remains a problem in America, give it to me.
Well, I think it remains a problem.
Give it to me.
It may not be systemic in that it's not like you're not being hired because you're black. There's no system.
Okay, here's the thing about systemic. The way I understand the word systemic, it means throughout the whole body. If you have a systemic infection, it goes through the whole system. It's not localized to one part of the body. Yes, we have localized racism. Systemic racism means the whole system, the whole infrastructure, all of our institutions are inherently racist. Shut up. It's such garbage and so weak to play the victim.
Systemic reason, legal reason that exists, that kind of thing. But I think that racism as a general theory exists.
I need some specifics. You gave me the white cop thing. What else? Give me another example where you think is a problem.
Well, as a black conservative, tell me how do you get people to come around?
You're the one who made the assertion that you think racism remains a major problem in America. I asked you to give me an example. You gave me white cops going after blacks. As far as I'm concerned, you didn't hold it up very well. What's the other argument you have? What's the other thing?
Well, I don't know that it's systemic in the sort of macro sense.
I'm not mad. I just want to know what it is you're talking about.
That's exactly what. Believe me, that's 100% why I wanted to have you.
Blacks
here.
are not getting into school. BS. That we have affirmative action. So a black person with an SAT and a GPA of X will get into a school faster and easier than a white person with an SAT or a GPA of X.
Who is it? Yale is proud to announce now that they have a 58% minority enrollment rate now. What did they do to get to get their quotas up? They did away with the entry exam. Wow. Your next up and coming class of graduates are going to be a lot less bright and a lot less qualified than anyone else that's ever come through that school at all. Also, what did you do for the Asians? Did you make it more difficult for them to get in now? So what? Now we're going to have I can't even continue. It's disgusting. And I can't even believe I live in this world.
And if going to school is a route to the middle class, you can make an argument that blacks have an easier route to the middle class. If you're talking about about poverty, the poorer you are, the more accessible loans and grants are for you. The problem, the biggest burden that black people have, in my opinion, again, is the percentage of blacks, 75% of them, that are raised without fathers.
Oh, bingo. Now, if I've seen this clip, it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. But this is, it doesn't, if you look at my profiles, most of my descriptions say fatherlessness. Fatherlessness is the root cause. It doesn't matter what issue you bring today, black crime, you want to bring racism, whatever, murder, abortions, what? It's because black fathers are not in the home. Fathers are not in the home for the most part. But in the black community, fathers are even more rare. And in the States, in the early 60s, they started giving out welfare to single mothers. Single meaning there was no man in the home. So you wanted welfare, you can't have daddy in the home. That destroyed the black community and the traditional thought of, man and woman. Having the traditional family is the most significantly successful family unit setup that's ever been devised or invented or naturally evolved into. Usually one is the disciplinarian, one will dole the punishment, because this is how we bring up our youth. Reward and punishment. It's an agreement system we're born into, just like religion. You don't pick your language. You don't pick your parents. You kind of, but what are the chances? And I love how, what's his name? Oh, it doesn't matter. He says the chances of you being you are like 400 billion to 1. Gary V. Floor score, dude. I don't know about the angry hairdresser. I did an interview with the guy that owned Evolution Spa. It doesn't ring a bell, dude. I know you got a party tomorrow. I know you're counting on me. It doesn't ring a bell. I had 800 videos evaporated by YouTube. There was lots of good stuff in there, man. Need so bad. There's no audio, no video. I don't know what to tell you. I'm feeling for you. All right, just to wrap up with Larry Elder here.
That has every other social negative consequence connected to it. Crime, not being able to compete economically in the country, being more likely to be arrested. That's the number one problem facing the black community. And when I hear people tell me about systemic racism or unconscious racism, I always say, give me an example, and almost nobody can do it.
PragerU does not suck. Go check it out. I didn't know that was a PragerU video, but it comes from their Instagram account. Nice. Larry Elder is genius. I love the way he communicates. Blackness fatigue. This is risky. I don't think we need to play it all. Your thoughts?
Blackness fatigue is setting in. America is exhausted from dealing with the never-ending complaints and ingratitude of the black community. Black racism against whites and Asians has reached violent proportions, and with the help and funding of the Democrat Party, militant black racism is getting worse.
I probably should run away from this clip. I'll put it in the show description because I think there's too much truth here for YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, DLive, all the platforms, Fakebook. I'm on my last leg on too many platforms, so I can't risk it. But this guy goes on to quote some pretty solid stuff. Here is a young lady, Loudoun County School Board meeting again. What is it about this county that they come out and their youth and their parents are really tuned in?
Public schools in the past couple months, kids just like me who were exposed to this sexual material by a teacher who they once trusted. I felt violated. My grades began to slip and my mental health declined. Eventually, I no longer felt safe in the halls of my own school, so I had to switch back to distance learning. Please hear me when I say we need change. We need to protect students like me from sexual material in the school setting, because I don't want another kid to go through the trauma I went through this year. And I'm honestly just disgusted that they're not here to hear me say this. I swear on this county's hands. Public schools in the last...
Stop sexualizing our children, please. Leaked documents from Iowa school system show teachers are forced to classify, quote, "Make America Great Again," unquote, as a type of, quote, racism, unquote, and, quote, unquote, white supremacy. This is done through mandatory critical race theory training, forced on teachers at taxpayer expense. By the way, Benny says, Trump won Iowa by 9 points. Stop indoctrinating our youth. Stop teaching them that America is a horrible place. America's the best place to be, dude. Trouble on a plane. All too common these days. I'm not going to play it all. It's just a taste. The subject is this woman in what I can only describe as a shower cap, a bathing cap, a pink pussy cap. I'm not sure, but what the... fast forward through this a little bit. They're giving this woman must think you're going to talk yourself out of. Okay, so once the cops enter the plane, you're going with them. Okay, there's not a cop that's going to be called to remove you from a flight and then for them to go, yeah, okay, you're okay. You're okay. And go talk to the pilot and go, you know what, this lady's cool. She's going to be good now. She promised. No, you're not talking your way out of being... And why is she being removed? She has a mask around her neck when she leaves. And she's kind of freaking now. I can see crying's not going to work either, I don't think. And then she gets a load of the person recording. So she's got a mask. I don't remember why she's getting kicked. Look at all the phones out. Look at everyone standing up. Wow. Such anger. People are wound up. What? It's tantrum. It's a childish tantrum. Is that a ploy to get her off? The girl next to her says, I need to get up. So she gets up to let her out. And she chirps all the way.
Anybody got fucking camera? Slap the fuck out of me. Anybody? You think shit funny? Do you think shit funny? Do you think shit funny? Do you think shit funny?
Anybody got a camera on them? I'm gonna slap that shit out of your hand. Is that she did say that. And then you think that shit funny? You think that shit funny? You think that shit funny? Do you think that shit funny? Like, just repeat yourself. If you don't have anything intelligent to say, just say it over and over and over again, and it'll make the point much better.
I'll slap the fuck out of you. Anybody? You think shit funny? Do 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 you? Do you, bitch? Do you? I'll give a say, nigga.
Oh, and then a little racist blast on the way out. Now everyone's seated, no one's filming.
She almost hit me. Did you see that?
Wow. Welcome to 2021. Biden's world.
Did you film all that?
Did you film all that? Yeah, everyone filmed all that, okay? Okay. In the spirit of not sexualizing our children, these are special needs people. And it's Pride Month for everyone. Well, except white, cis, hetero.
Francesca. Justin Barnes. Finger Star. Lady Mercury.
No, please. Please. Where do you go from here, kids? We're way past the point of no return. Are these individuals, I'm not sure how young they are they saying dress me up like this? You don't, like, These are their caretakers dressing them like this. Not their parents. My goodness. Again, where do we go from this? Oh, wow. Oh, Gavin McInnes is making the news again because of the Vanity Fair interview. This one here, The Secret History of Gavin McInnes. The Secret History? This is done by an old friend of Gavin McInnes's. And, well, Gavin refutes all charges of racism he's ever made. The most common one, and I didn't read this, it's way too long, and it's all the same garbage. Look at how long it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Oh, there's... Wow. Oh no, that's not him. It looks like him. Look at just... And this is Uhuru. It's not a fist for fascism. It's a fist for freedom and liberty. It's a is it Swahili word for freedom and liberty? When he's got his fist up like that and his mouth is shaped like a Uhuru. Proud Boys is dead. Where? It's a drinking club that provided security services in the early days to women like Ann Coulter. That look at it, just goes on and on. Like, this is a small novel. Like, look at all these, so many words. You know, the truth stands up to criticism. Lies are unable to be questioned, and this is a perfect example. What a complete garbage. A couple Proud Boys are doing a hard time. 4 years in the federal pen for defending themselves against an Antifa ambush. What up, Layden? I'm not crying. You're crying. True love. Man suffering from Alzheimer's forgets he's married and marries his wife again. You imagine taking care of your husband that you've been married to forever, and he doesn't remember you, and he sees some footage of a marriage on the television and says, hey, we'd be perfect for that. Why don't we get married? And wifey rolls with it and schedules a second wedding, and Pops, with Alzheimer's, remarries the love of his life. I should have saved this for the end, to end on a positive note. Diagnosed in 2018 at just 53. Oh, he's not that old. Man, he looks a lot older than he is, I guess. 2018 at 53, so yeah, he's not even 60. Wow. Peter eventually forgot about his wife as the disease had already taken over his brain. Suffers seizures in his sleep. But last year, while they were watching a wedding scene on television, he reportedly proposed marriage to Lisa. I said, do what? And he pointed to the TV, to the scene of this wedding, and I said, do you want to get married? He said, yes. And he had this huge grin on his face. He doesn't know I'm his wife. I'm just his favorite person. My heart is exploding. I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I get to do it twice. Memo. To single women out there. Why are you single? Wow. Huh. Some vendors offered their services for free. Absolutely heart-wrenching. Men arrested after TPD, the Tuscan Police Department sign found vandalized downtown. And for those on the podcast, underneath Tucson Police Department, it says, everyone knows girls born after 1993 can't cook. All they know is charge they phone, eat McDonald's, twerk, be bisexual, eat hot chips and lie. Eat hot chip and lie. The grammar's not the greatest on that graffiti artist. Charged with a hate speech. Oh, goodness. Brett Weinstein is not an idiot. Brett Weinstein is one of the most brilliant men on the earth today. A genius. Him and his brother is Brett. Oh, no, Brett is the mathematician. Half of his family's income has been terminated by YouTube. I get it. A year ago, I was just starting to make what averaged out to about $1,500 a month on my YouTube channel. YouTube.com/Jim Fannon. Gone. With no notice, no copyright guideline strikes, nothing. Disappeared. A 10-year-old channel with 800 videos and 3 million views. I feel for you, Brett Weinstein. Follow him. It's a good follow. The NSA is spying on Tucker Carlson. CNN cannot handle it. Do a Google search. You see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to go out on something a little bit more positive, okay? No politics, no racism, just animal tricks. This dog is getting his first taste of coconut, I think.
Refuting his claim earlier in the same day. Quote,
we don't need the audio anyways. This is a piece of coconut, and this dog cannot figure out what to do with it. I got a bunch of audio in the background playing. So I'm going to do without the audio on this. And one more. What is this? A mole? Some sort of burrowing animal? And a dog that just cannot get enough. He's like, dude, come here. What are you doing? Get out of there. And he's like, stop fucking around, dude. Leave me alone. I'm trying to dig this hole. No, dude. What are you doing? What you keep it? I told you, leave me the fuck alone. I got a hole to dig here, dude. I'm trying to get somewhere. Now fuck off. All right, here I go. Fuck's sakes, here he is again. Dude, what are you? Fuck off. I'm going to bite your face. You think you're bigger than me? Fuck you. I'm back in this hole and I'm digging. Find me on the TikTok. This is me on the TikTok. At Jim Fannon Show on the TikTok. I had 2 videos taken down for hate speech, and they're back. I guess they weren't hate speech after all. I'm not real good at, looking at the comments. I've stopped looking at the comments. But, I just reached 2,000 followers. 2102, that's nice. Jim Fannon Show right here. It's just Jim Fannon. Facebook.com/Jim Fannon on Facebook. Twitter, I'm at Team Niagara now, at Jim Fannon and at Jim Fannon Show. We're targeted and torpedoed by radical lefties. Followers of Rob Gill. Vote for Rob Gill. Here's where I am on LinkedIn. I never go here, but I do have a profile. I need to update my resume. Clearly. This is me on Insta at Jim Fannon Show. This is me on Gab. I think I'm at Fanman on Gab. Why did I do that? I have no idea. You can find me here on Twitch. And you can find me Twitch.tv. Remember when Twitch was Justin TV and you used to get all your copyrighted free streams on there? Yeah, now it's Twitch.tv, mostly for gamers, but /Jim Fannon Show, and then DLive is DLive.tv/Jim Fannon. You can get me on Patreon if you want to become a Patreon, patreon.com/free speech, and PayPal me, Jim Fannon. PayPal me.Jim Fannon, something like that. I don't know. Dude, I'll come back later with the drinking hairdresser. Floor score. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Anyways, I will go out with a little bit of music because I like it. And it's copyright free. This one is called Want Some? And it's done by a local guy here named Matt McPherson, who goes by M Factor. M-PHAKTOR. M Factor. It's called Want Some. Peace, love, hug your neighbor, and whatever you do, rip that dirty diaper off your face. DEFY. Do not comply. I am out.
night now.